FS1 Instigator, part of the fastest-growing sports radio show in the country. Odd Couple with Chris and Rob Parker. It's very funny. It's a great show. You're the crazy loony part of the show.
You already know, and Chris is the voice of reason. Is that how it goes?
Okay, Odell Beckham to the Browns. Everybody's freaking out. People in Cleveland, I've watched internet videos of Cleveland fans screaming and yelling. How big of a success is it?
I think it's way, way, way premature. And I'm not saying that the players that they've put together in a nice group. I like it, especially offensively. But, Colin, let's just be honest. Look at who they beat a year ago. They beat one team over 500. That was Baltimore early in the season.
With Flacco, who got benched.
Yes, and it was 12-9. Now, you go and look at the back end. They beat up a terrible Cincinnati Bengals team twice.
With Jeff Driscoll.
That gave up 500 yards. Gave up defensively. They were awful. They fired their defensive coordinator. All I'm saying is pump the brakes. Also, you got all these diva receivers who are going to want – somebody's not going to get the football. Somebody's going to pout and moan. I know that they're good friends, and everybody acts like everything's great.
That's a bunch of bull.
It is until they don't get the ball. Then that's when there's an issue. So are they better? Absolutely.
Offensively, they have a lot of mouths to feed.
Yes.
And, you know, when there are going to be games, people are going to bracket OBJ. And I also don't know if Freddie Kitchens, the coach – This would be a hard team to coach for Belichick.
And he's never been a head coach, so in this situation. So there's a lot going on, and defensively, it's a bad football team.
Well, they've upgraded up front defensively. Myles Garrett's good. He's not special. Denzel Ward's good at corner, but he got hurt last year. I think they're good defensively up front, but I will say this again. They have a different defensive coordinator. They have a new head coach. Well, as New England says, it's not about collecting talent. It's about building a team. Their schedule is a little harder.
And they're not going to sneak up on anybody.
Nobody.
That's a big difference. This is what people don't understand. When you get OBJ, don't tell me that you're going to come in thinking, oh, this is the Browns of old. Not at all. So it's going to be different. I still like the Ravens in the division. I think Pittsburgh takes a step back. But I'm not handing over the AFC North to Cleveland because they got, arguably one of the best receivers in the league.
You grew up in Queens. Were you a Giants fan?
No, Jets, because I used to take the train, the number 7 train, to Shea Stadium when they played at Shea Stadium. I froze my butt off many a Sunday.
Watching Joe Namath in Shea.
You know what I mean? At Shea Stadium.
So what do you make of what the Giants are doing? I will say this. I think they have the last 2 years upgraded their offensive line. Tip of the cap. I love offensive line play. Outside of that, what do you make of it? I
think it's a total mess. Now, I was in Detroit when Matt Millen was the general manager, arguably the worst general manager in history of pro sports. Just a disaster. And Gettleman here, I don't know what the plan is. I really don't. When he came, do you remember his press conference? I didn't come here to trade Odell Beckham Jr. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wind up trading him. Eli, we don't know what we're doing. No, Eli's coming back. Eli's been washed up for years, and they're still hanging on to the 2 Super Bowls. I get it. They had the parade. They celebrated him, but enough already. I don't know where they're going. And Golden Tate, is that that's your answer?
Well, actually, they have Sterling Shepard. So Sterling, there's duplication. Golden Tate is like Sterling Shepard a little better after the catch. So they have duplication. They don't have a 1, they have 2 2s.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if you're a Giants fan right now, you're disappointed. And I'll tell you, you could say whatever you want about Le'Veon Bell and the Jets. I think it's a great move.
So do I.
I think it's going to make Sam Darnold 100% better overnight, only from the standpoint that he can run the football, Le'Veon, and he can catch out of the backfield. Now he has a valve, you know what I mean, to get the ball out to somebody.
He's got the best check down in the league. The thing with Le'Veon Bell, Dak got Zeke, helped. Goff got Gurley. Patrick Mahomes last year, the numbers went down when Kareem Hunt was released. Young quarterbacks all flourish, almost no exceptions, with a star running back behind them. Okay, a story came out this past week. Jeannie Buss asked about Magic Pelinka, the possibility of trading LeBron. Didn't do it, but at least talked about it. She was so furious with the trade rumors that imploded the young locker room. What do you make of it?
Now, we had Rick Bucher, who wrote that story,
right,
for the Bleacher Report. We had him on the radio show, Colin.
Yes.
And our thing was, were they really serious about making a trade? No, from this standpoint. And Rick admitted it. Because if there was really where she picked up the phone and started calling people, then that would be serious. But she never picked up the phone and never talked to anybody. But did she think about it? She thought about it. And here's the problem. People are giving everybody, LeBron, all these excuses. He came here to take a team that did make the playoffs the last 5 years and make them better. He did not do that. It's a fail, epic fail everywhere. I don't care what anybody says about the injuries. Colin, when he came back, they were still in the hunt for the playoffs. You saw the bad losses that they had. Atlanta, Memphis, New Orleans without AD.
The Knicks.
Right, the Knicks. I mean, just like really bad losses. So my point is, he came here to change that. That didn't happen. And I think go back to what KD said about being around LeBron and the problem. And he said it's a toxic environment. And this is what the Lakers got. I don't think that they were ready for what comes with LeBron.
Pat Riley told people, I've got pretty good connections to the Miami Heat. Pat Riley told people that LeBron comes to your team and they want to run the team. And Pat Riley was never willing to relinquish that. So when LeBron went to Los Angeles, where they're steeped in Pat Riley history, Riley said, you're about to see the tsunami that comes with LeBron and Clutch Sports and their clients. So when Kevin Durant said that about LeBron, it's fairly toxic. It wasn't a shot at just LeBron. It was a shot at the entourage, the whole piece. I just said this 10 minutes ago. LeBron comes with suitcases. There's a lot to unpack.
No, there's no doubt about it.
It's not just his game.
And that's what the Lakers are finding out, because look where they are from this standpoint.
They have no shooters.
Right. But everybody said this when they first put the team together. That was the first glaring thing. And then here's the other part. If you're the Lakers, the only way you really could be able to move LeBron, to me, is if you talk to Kevin Durant and some of these other stars will say, if he's not there, I'm interested in coming to the Lakers. Here's the other scary part. If the Pelicans decide, no, we're not doing business with the Lakers under any circumstances, who are they getting? Who are they getting to come with LeBron next year? Nobody. Colin, it's going to be a mess. This is going to be a 4-year mess. Everybody laughed at me when I said he came to Los Angeles to be Meryl Streep. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You laughed. And I'm telling you, I'm right on this. He came here for the Hollywood stuff first. And if he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, but what he didn't realize is the fans here, they won't accept that. They want to win. They want to win a championship.
Staples Center is not Hollywood. Hollywood is Hollywood. Staples Center is a lot of working, like every team in the country. New York's full of rich people. Go to Yankee Stadium. It's working class people. Outside of the first 10 rows behind the plate. You've been to Yankee Stadium. There's a handful of movie stars at Laker games. It's mostly regular people. They're not into Hollywood, and I think it's a huge turnoff. Kobe lived in Orange County, helicoptered in. He stayed away from Hollywood until the very end. Then he got into it. Kobe always knew that Hollywood and the Lakers are two. By the way, Shaq dabbled in Hollywood, turned off the Lakers front office, and they moved Shaq when they had to make a choice, because I was told at the time they just felt like Shaq was too distracted and Kobe was all in on basketball. But when Kobe retired, he went right to Hollywood.
And Colin, I was out shopping recently. I'm going to tell you how much LA's turned off to LeBron.
Let me see it.
So, I was out shopping and I was going to get an early Christmas present. I run into you at TJ Maxx all the time. Look, it's already 50% off at TJ Maxx on LeBron. They're already moving on. I mean, look at this.
Did you watch Zion last night?
Oh, man.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what I love about him?
What?
He wants to play basketball. I love the idea. Once he became healthy, you play. You're 18 years old.
And also,
you got a chance to win a championship with Duke.
Like you and I both agree, if a college football player skips out on the Liberty Bowl,
we get it.
But you don't skip out playing, if you're for Clemson playing Alabama.
No way, no matter what.
I'm surprised. I didn't think he would come back because I think he's such a generational money machine that people would get in his ear. I just figured he'd be pressured to not play. I love the fact he did play.
I do too. I just think that a kid like that, 18, if he was on Rutgers and they were playing in the NIT, you know what, Colin? I say you should sit this one out.
Right.
You got nothing to gain here. But you're playing at a prestigious basketball school with a lot of history. Why wouldn't you want to put a banner up that you helped win as far as for your history? You know what I mean? And a part of your pedigree.
I like the kid more than ever after last night. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.